Hello everyone, welcome back to chemistry class. From our last class, you have got an idea about an atom, a molecule, radical and an ion. We have also learned in detail about an atom and also a little history of the discovery of an atom. So now we are going to learn about a molecule in detail. As we have already learned in class 6 and also in the last chapter about a molecule is formed by the combination of atoms of same element like how you see here in the first case, or by the combination of atoms of different elements like how you see here in the second case. Now in this picture, the same colored balls like how you see here in the first case, it represents atoms of same element. And different colored balls like how you see here in the second case, it represents atoms of different elements. Now let us see an example of a molecule that is formed by the combination of atoms of same element. That is the example of oxygen molecule. A molecule is formed when the atoms are bound together with a chemical bond. Now here in this case of the molecule oxygen, it has got the molecular formula O2, which means that two atoms of oxygen from the same element oxygen have combined to form a molecule of oxygen with the formula O2. Likewise, a molecule can be formed by the combination of atoms of different elements also. An example of that is a molecule of hydrogen chloride, which means in this case, atoms of different elements, that is, atom of the element hydrogen and an atom of the element chlorine have combined to form a molecule of hydrogen chloride. Therefore, it is clear that a molecule is a combination of atoms of same element or atoms of different elements. We also know that molecule is the smallest particle of a pure substance, that is, an element or a compound. Unlike an atom, molecules can exist independently. Also, the physical and chemical properties of a substance will depend upon its molecule. Or in other words, a molecule retains the physical and chemical properties of a substance. Now let us see few examples of molecules which are formed by the combination of same kind of atoms as in the case of elements, and also molecules which are formed by the combination of different kind of atoms as in the case of compounds. Now as you see here, these are examples of molecules which are formed by same kind of atoms. Hydrogen molecule with the molecular formula H2. Here it means two atoms from the element hydrogen have combined to form a molecule of hydrogen. Likewise here nitrogen with the molecular formula N2. Two atoms from the same element nitrogen have combined to form a molecule of nitrogen. Likewise for oxygen with the molecular formula O2, two atoms of the element oxygen have combined to form a molecule of oxygen. Likewise F2, Cl2, bromine molecule and iodine molecule. Now let us see molecules that are formed by different kinds of atoms, like in the case of compounds, a molecule of water with the famous formula H2O. Now as we all know, this molecule of water is formed by the combination of an atom of oxygen, which is represented by a red ball here, and also by atoms of hydrogen. Two atoms of hydrogen combine with one atom of oxygen to form a molecule of water. Likewise, in the case of hydrogen chloride, which we have already seen, one atom of hydrogen combines with one atom of chlorine to form a molecule of hydrogen chloride. Now, Do you all remember what you have learned in your class 6 about atomicity? We will now go on to see what is atomicity. Atomicity is the total number of atoms that make up to form one molecule of a substance. Or in other words, it is the total number of atoms present in a molecule of an element. A molecule can either be a monoatomic molecule, diatomic molecule, triatomic or polyatomic molecule. Few of the atoms, like how you see here, atoms of noble gases like helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon, and few other atoms like in the case of metals like potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, iron and copper. All these atoms are found to be present as single atoms, and therefore we say that their atomicity is equal to 1, since there is only one atom that is present. So therefore these are called as monoatomic molecules. So what are monoatomic molecules? When the number of atoms that are present in a molecule of an element is equal to 1, we call that as monoatomic molecules. Now we will go on to see what are diatomic molecules. As the name suggests, di means 2. So in case of diatomic molecules, the total number of atoms that are present in a molecule will be equal to 2. Like how you see here, in the case of molecule of hydrogen, oxygen, chlorine, nitrogen, bromine and iodine, all these are found to be composed of 2 atoms, and therefore their atomicity is equal to 2, and therefore these are called as diatomic molecules. Or in other words, these are molecules of an element that are composed of 2 atoms. Likewise, we will see what are triatomic and polyatomic molecules. As you see here in this picture, this is ozone. This is a chemical which protects us from the harmful ultraviolet radiations of the sunlight. Ozone has got a molecular formula O3. Now as you see here, 3 atoms of oxygen have combined to form a molecule of ozone. Therefore, the atomicity of ozone is equal to 3. Since the number of atoms that have combined to form a molecule of ozone is equal to 3, their atomicity is also equal to 3. In general, when number of atoms that are present in a molecule of an element is equal to 3, we call that as triatomic molecule. Therefore, ozone is an example of a triatomic molecule. In case of a molecule of phosphorus, it is formed by the combination of 4 phosphorus atoms with the molecular formula P4. Also, in case of sulfur, a molecule of sulfur is formed by the combination of 8 atoms of sulfur, like how you see here. And therefore, its molecular formula is S8. The atomicity of phosphorus is equal to 4, since there are 4 atoms of phosphorus that have combined to form a molecule of phosphorus. Likewise, in case of sulfur, the atomicity is equal to 8, since there are 8 atoms of sulfur that have combined to form a molecule of sulfur. This molecule of phosphorus is otherwise called as tetraatomic molecule because it consists of 4 atoms of phosphorus. Tetra means 4. Therefore, it is called as a tetraatomic molecule. In case of this molecule of sulfur, since it consists of 8 atoms of sulfur, we call it as octaatomic molecule. Octa means 8. Since it consists of 8 atoms of sulfur, we call it as octaatomic molecule. In general, when number of atoms that are present in a molecule of an element is greater than 3, we call that molecule as a polyatomic molecule. So these are examples of polyatomic molecules. Always remember, this subscript that is written here next to the symbol of each of these elements represents the number of atoms that are present.